Have you heard that saying, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you what your future looks like?
Haven't heard that one, but I have heard, you are what you eat.
Ooh, well, this series will focus on choices we make in life and provide guidance.
Whether it is goal-setting decisions, bullying, social media, or even deciding on joining the military, or doing on-the-job training, or attending college.
Located in beautiful San Luis Valley in Alamosa, Colorado.
Our next featured college is Adams State University, home of the Grizzlies.
This is one choice among the many outstanding public institutions located in Colorado.
At Adams State University, we ask one thing of our students: be the best you. No matter who you are, you'll find a home at Adams State, where your success as a student doesn't happen by accident, and your educational journey isn't bound by classroom walls. We call it the Adams Experience.
At Adams State, be the best you.
Be the best you.
Be the best you.
Be the best you.
Be the best you. Be the best you.
Be you.
At Adams State, be the best you.
Bachelor degrees, master degrees, doctoral programs, athletic programs, and more.
And providing college experiences since 1921. Must be good to have existed that long.
I understand that they have a strong partnership with Trinidad Community College now, which also makes it easy to take classes in Alamosa and then transfer credits towards a bachelor's degree.
Check them out at the My Colorado Journey website for more information.
Do you feel you have choices in life?
I hope so.
What do you need to reach your goal?
So many things. Money, inspiration, skills, even a success entourage, whatever that is.
Dr. Regina Lewis has a moving story to share on making choices that will lift you up and give you some real motivation.
May 28th, 2014 was the happiest day of my life. This was the day that my son Charles was going to graduate from the Air Force Academy. And I remember when he came running up those stairs, and when he grabbed me, he was trying to lift me off my feet, and he whispers in my ear, "Mom, we did it." 13 years earlier was probably one of the saddest days of my life. See, that was the day that my son Charles delivered the eulogy for his father's funeral. I remember him saying, "My father didn't die of a drive-by or drugs. He died a hero." See, his father was part of a team that was sent out in 2001 to search for the body remains from the Vietnam War. And there was a malfunction in the helicopter, and it crashed in the side of a mountain, killing all 9 Americans and all 11 Vietnamese soldiers that day. And I'm looking, and I realize at that point my son could instantly become a daunting statistic. Young black male in a single parent home who has a higher chance of I don't know, not going to school, dropping out of school, being part of a gang, using drugs, and probably never going to college. I had to figure out what I was going to do. Because just 2 weeks earlier than that, my son came home and he says, "Mom, I know what I want to be when I grow up." And I said, "What's that, Charles?" He says, "I want to be an astronaut. I want to go to the Air Force Academy." And I said, "Man, if you do that, you're going to leave a legacy in this family." But after that news, I couldn't leave it to my son to leave a legacy. I had to lead the legacy. See, when you lead the legacy, then you become inspirational. There's a difference between being motivational and inspirational. When you're motivated, then you react to what it is that you hear. But when that feeling fades, when you no longer can feel it or see it or touch it, then you lose motivation. But when you're inspired, then you respond because it's so deep inside that nothing and no one will ever stop you again. So it was at that time that I looked at my son and I said, "Man, I'm going to lead this legacy. And I'm going to do that by making a deal with you." I call it action pact. It was a pact between my son and I to take action on our education. I said, "I'm going back to school and I'm not going to stop until I have a PhD. Now, a PhD is like the highest degree that you can get in education. And I hadn't even started with my degrees after graduating from high school. I was in my 30s at this time. And I had to do something. I told him I was going to demonstrate for him what it is to be disciplined, dedicated, and determined. See, Dr. John Hope Franklin says that many of us have the ability to obtain several degrees, but few of us have the discipline to gain one. And I needed to show that to my son so that he knew what to do, so that he could get through peer pressure, so that he could get through school, so that he would never give up, so that he could go to the Air Force Academy. So the journey began. The first thing I did is I came up to Pikes Peak Community College. I'm talking about the same college that I actually am working at now. And when I went in, I had to take a placement test, but I didn't score high enough to get into the lowest remedial courses. I couldn't believe it because I thought, I've graduated from high school. I went to the military. I fought in Desert Storm. What has happened? My skills were just not there, and I needed to build them. But I couldn't give up. So my son is looking at me wondering, "Well, Mom, what are you going to do?" That's when I decided to go to an alternative school. And this alternative school was filled with 7th and 8th graders, just like you. But I went anyway. And when I went, I had to pick up my skills, but I did. And next thing you know, I'm entering the doors of the community college. That was exciting for me. But I had all kinds of people coming out of the woodwork. My haters had to become my motivators. I had people telling me, "Listen, it's either me or that degree." I said, "Well, see you later." Because I was inspired. I knew that this is what I had to do. And everywhere I went, people saw me with two things in my hands. That was my books in my hands and my son's hand. I don't care if I went to the dollar store, the grocery store, the hairdresser, everyone saw that. And next thing I know, I'm building up my skills. I'm working. I'm going into the math lab, the computer lab, the writing center. I'm getting a tutor. It didn't matter. Whatever it was going to take. And then I built what I call my success entourage. These are people who care about you even when you don't care about yourself. I had my mother there who, when I didn't understand what I was reading, she would read those books to me. It was my sister that when I had to type a paper and I could not type, she would type them for me until I picked up the skills and could do it myself. I had amazing people that were there in support of me. We can't do it by ourselves. We have to have other people that are going to be there with us. So the journey continued. And next thing you know, I'm graduating from the community college. I went on from there and I went in to get my bachelor's degree. I went to UCCS and it was fantastic. I got 2 degrees, one in psychology and one in communication. I kept going. I got my master's. And when I got my master's, I graduated with distinctions. Me, I did that. And now it was time. I was in my PhD program. And believe me, it wasn't easy. When you go into a PhD program, you have to write this paper, and it's hundreds of pages long. And now I'm at that point where I'm trying to write the paper, and I'm struggling. But time is against me at this point, because I only have about 8 months before my son's going to graduate from high school. I couldn't break the pact. I had to do this. When I turned in my paper, they marked it up and they told me I failed. They told me I had to rewrite it. So I took it back and I rewrote it again. Now it's January. I'm supposed to graduate by May because my son is going to graduate right behind me. And I turned it in and they said, you need to do it again. So I took it back again. Now it's February and I'm rewriting it again. I turn it back in and they tell me I have to rewrite it again and again and again and again and again and again. I rewrote my dissertation 24 times. That is called persistence. That's when you don't give up because you're so inspired that nothing and no one will stop you. And before I knew it, I was graduating. It was 6 days before my son was graduating from high school. He got to see what very few children in his position ever get to witness, and that was his mother graduating and obtaining her PhD. That day when I walked in, I sat there and I was getting ready to walk up on stage when they called me, Dr. Regina Lewis. And as I looked up in the crowd, I saw this big yellow sign that said, Dr. Regina Lewis, and it was being held by not just my son, but the people from the dollar store, the grocery store, the hairdresser. Everybody was holding this sign. I cried up the stage, across the stage, and back down the stage. And then somebody asked me, did I want to take my picture? I was like, are you kidding me? I was crying. I looked crazy. One lesson, never cry ugly. Learn how to cry cute. But I did it. Then 6 days later, I'm getting dressed to get prepared to go to my son's graduation. And he says, Mom, can I talk to you for a minute? I said, sure. What's up, Charles? And he says, you know that big yellow robe you wore for my graduation? I said, absolutely. He said, don't wear it to my graduation. I said, why not? He said, because you look like a big bumblebee. I said, that's exactly what I was trying to do. I said, because a bumblebee bumbles along, never flying in a straight line, but it always hits its target. I said, and according to the law, a bumblebee shouldn't be able to fly because its wings are paper thin, too thin to carry its heavy body, but it does it anyway. And he was like, I'm impressed, but don't wear that big yellow suit. I said, okay, fine. So I ended up wearing this beautiful celery green suit with eggplant shoes. It was just gorgeous. So we get to his graduation, and it just seemed like the parents were clapping with 3 fingers when their child was walking across the stage. It was like, good job, Johnny. Nice job, Sarah. I was like, you wait till Charles gets up in here. So all of a sudden, now it's Charles's turn. The principal calls his name, Charles Edward Lewis III, and I like to lose it. I was like, that's my baby. And as he's walking up to the stage, he kind of throws me a little salute. And they said, Charles has been accepted to the Air Force Academy, the Naval Academy, West Point, Purdue, Embry-Riddle, 9 prestigious colleges they named. Now, the tradition is that when you finish, then you get a rose that you're supposed to bring down to your parent. Well, Charles managed to get 2 roses. I was like, that's my boy. But as he's walking towards me, he turns around and I'm wondering, where is he going with my roses? But then he tosses them behind him. So later I ask him, Charles, why did you do that? And he says, Mom, who could I have given him to? We stand on the shoulders of others. We do. We don't do this alone. You get people who care about you. You get people who are going to believe in you when you do not believe in yourself. You get people who believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. That's how it's done. And you have to be more than motivated. You have to be inspired.
Let haters become motivators.
I know. That was some deep advice.
You have to be living under a rock not to know our future career choice.
Oh yeah, Google Classroom, Google Search, the round-colored emblem.
And you can be employed by them right here in Colorado.
Did not know that one. Let's check out their video.
Google is a place that I just fell in love with the culture. I fell in love with the energy. There was just a vibe that I wanted to be a part of.
It's just some place where I can never imagine myself getting bored, because we're thinking about billions of users. And so that's a lot of impact that you can have, and it's just really gratifying.
Google is so much at the forefront of technology, and the way that our culture is built, we are always looking for the 10x. We are always looking for the leapfrog innovation.
So you have to be willing to let all your preconceived notions be broken at any moment.
You're gonna have to make your own rules sometimes, and this is actually part of the fun.
I get to try new technologies. I get to implement them in different ways that maybe no other company has done them before. And so you can really go beyond your skill set that you think you have at the moment and push the boundaries.
The part that makes it really fun is there are so many teams across Google that have amazing expertise. And I get to work with these people, not only build something with them, but I learn so much.
Pick any topic and I can promise you there's someone here who is both better at it than you or more knowledgeable and also, and more importantly, willing to help you learn.
Everybody here is so nice, they're so encouraging, so that's very reassuring to be in a company where people value you.
I am fortunate enough to work with people from a lot of different experience, a lot of different backgrounds, and we use that in our advantage.
It's really the best idea wins. There's a lot of debate, but it's really to bring those different viewpoints together, and that's what we want our products to represent.
We believe the benefits of technology should apply to all, and that's a mission that really is very, very inspiring.
So when I show up at work, I'm able to do all the things that I love, solving hard problems and working for the people that I manage. That makes it worthwhile for me to show up every day.
That would be a really cool place to work.
I definitely think that that company will be around for a long, long time too. What are you doing?
Looking for my footprint.
Why?
Because my footprint matters, and Michelle Lucero is going to tell us why.
Your digital footprint matters. Digital footprints are the records and traces we leave behind us as we use the internet. Every day, whether we want to or not, most of us contribute to a growing portrait of who we are online. A portrait that is probably more public than most of us assume. So no matter what you do online, it's important that you know what kind of trail you're leaving and what the possible effects can be. Every time you go online, you leave a footprint that can be searched, copied, shared, broadcast, and it is permanent. What kind of digital footprint do you want to leave? What do you want people to remember you as? Well, it's not possible to have zero footprints. The first steps towards reducing your digital footprint and managing your digital identity are not that hard. Here are some things that can help. 1, learn the basics. What is digital footprint? Your digital footprint is all the stuff you leave behind you as you use the internet. Comments on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, apps used, and email records. It's part of your online history and can potentially be seen by other people or tracked in a database. One post can ruin your life. One post can make your life. Which one will you choose? Remember how we will leave digital footprints. This happens in many ways. Here are some of them. Websites and online shopping, retailers, and product review sites often leave cookies on your system which can track your movement from site to site, allowing targeted advertisements that can show you products you've been recently reading about or looking at online. Social media. All those retweets and Facebook comments, even private ones, leave a record. Make sure you know what the default privacy settings are for your social media accounts and keep an eye on them. Sites often introduce new policies and settings that increase the visibility of your data. They may rely on you just clicking OK to whatever terms they are introducing without reading them. Mobile phones, tablets, or laptops. Some websites will build a list of different devices you have used to visit those sites. While this can often be used as a way to help secure your account, it is important to understand the information being collected about your habits. 2. Know why you should manage your digital footprint. Make no mistake about it. The web is listening every time you use it. It's important that you understand what you're leaving behind when you visit a website. Remember, your footprint matters.
We better start paying attention to our digital footprint.
Privacy is really important.
So be careful who you give your personal information to.
You're not my friend.
What?
You're ugly.
What the heck? Who are you talking to?
These are just a few sayings that make up a bully's vocabulary. So ugly.
Freda Hancock gives an inspiring presentation on how to fight bullying and build your strength.
Who are you? Don't talk to her. Where are you from? Oh, you and your family are poor. What's your name? Let's change it to something degrading like stupid. Why do you look like that? You're so ugly. Why do you talk like that? That's so gay. Why do you exist? No one likes you. Why don't you just kill yourself? I don't like you. You are not my friend. Go away. These are the questions and answers that most of you have witnessed in person or have read on social media. Those unpleasant words may have been delivered to you via a classmate, supposed friend, or even a family member. The words of a bully. Bullying is an unwanted aggressive behavior that is hard to escape. Anyone who has been bullied today or in the past found it a difficult situation to escape. When someone is being aggressive or simply mean, it can make you feel scared, embarrassed, or uninvited. To put it more vividly, you feel rejected by society. The words or actions that are portrayed can make a confident person feel rejected. You start to question who your friends and family are. Do they really care for you? With all of this bullying happening today, ask yourself these questions. How do I feel? How do I escape and remain my brilliant, unique, and special self? Is it inside of you? It is inside all of us. Strength. The strength to say no more. We all have the voice and strength deep inside of us that commands a no more boldness. It does not matter what you look like, how you talk, or better yet, the color of your skin. No more is a force you need to use. It is time to lift yourself up. It is time to make a change within yourself. You have a voice, and that voice commands consideration. Consideration of your feelings, who you are as an individual. When a person releases their inner voice, situations surrounding them change. It may not appear to change instantly. However, the persistence of a strong voice will bring about change. There is nothing wrong with defending who you are and standing up for what you believe in. It takes strength. Step outside of your comfort zone and gather your strength. You don't want comfortable strength. You want overwhelming strength. You will not be a statistic. You will be a figure that demonstrates strong will, the will to be who you are without regrets. Remember these two quotes. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. The less you respond to negative people, the more peaceful your life will become. Select being strong. Say no more. Take a look around your class. 1 out of every 5 students in the class are being bullied. Statistics show that 13% were made fun of, called names, or was insulted. 13% were the subjects of rumors. You will find the rumors on social media. 5% were pushed, shoved, tripped, or spit on. And 5% were excluded from activities on purpose. You probably witnessed this last action during PE or lunch. You noticed the students sitting by themselves. 1 in 5 tweens between the ages of 9 and 12 has been cyberbullied, cyberbullied others, or seen cyberbullying. All of this trending on social media. I say to you all, use your inner strength. Do not permit anyone, whether they be related or a friend, bully you. Don't respond to the negative. Love who you are. Command respect. No more.
Fierce words for us to remember.
Be the best. We all need to understand college is affordable.
So the myth that it is not affordable is fake news.
Just listen.
Hi, I'm Joe Garcia, and I'm the Chancellor of the Colorado Community College System. The reason I want to tell you that, why it's so important, is I never imagined myself even as a college student, much less as a college president. But I had the opportunity to go to college, and it transformed my life just as it can transform yours. Now, I'm from a small town in northern New Mexico, and most of my cousins didn't go to college. And those who didn't have a very different life than I do right now. It's not because I was a great high school student. In fact, I wasn't. I didn't have great grades except in the classes that really mattered to me. But I was able to go to college on a Navy scholarship. And my only expectation at that time was to get a degree and go into the military, because my dad had been in the military. I didn't imagine the range of possibilities that were out there. So I went to college. I struggled at times. I wanted to drop out at times, but I persisted and I graduated, and that changed my life. Again, it didn't change it immediately, because when I graduated from college, I went back to doing what I was doing before I went to college, which was driving a truck. But when I was driving a truck, I went to a community college in the evening and took classes in legal research, in contract law, and I decided I was going to go to law school. And so I applied, and not knowing any better, I applied to Harvard Law School. I didn't know it was going to be hard to get into. I didn't know the odds were against me, but I applied and I got in and I went. And again, I struggled, but I persisted, I graduated, and again, my life is just different as a result. I've been a partner in a law firm, been the president of a community college, the president of a university, lieutenant governor of Colorado, the head of the Colorado Department of Higher Education, and now I'm the chancellor of the community college system. And yet people who knew me in high school would be amazed that I ever graduated from college at all. So I just want you to know what's possible if you think about or imagine a different life than the one you've seen around you. Don't be limited by what you see, but look at the opportunities that you imagine and recognize that there are things you can't even imagine now. I never imagined what I would be doing when I was in college, but college gave me options, and options matter. It gave me the ability to select different things. So I want you to think about college, because right now, about 75% of the jobs in Colorado require some college degree. When I graduated from high school, it was only about 25% of jobs that required a college degree. That's why you need to think about it. People will tell you not everybody needs to go to college, and that's true. But if you want a good job and if you want options, going to college will increase your opportunities, as it did for me. And it doesn't mean you have to go to a four-year school. You can go to a trade school or a community college. You can study an academic subject or a career in technical education subject like welding or auto mechanics. But you need to get some credential. You need to get some education beyond high school. Now, you can get some education beyond high school while you're still in high school through concurrent enrollment options. While you're in high school, you can take college-level classes. You can do it at the high school, or you can go to the college or university to take those courses. And if you do that, you will earn college credits for free, because concurrent enrollment is free. You get a college level class, you get those credits, and you don't have to pay tuition. And if you do it, you're more likely to go to college, more likely to be accepted into college, and more likely to finish college on time and at lower cost. Again, options. Always look for those options that interest you, and if you're not sure, if you're interested, try it anyway. You have nothing to lose. I mentioned options several times, so let's talk about options. Because a lot of people think college is too hard to get into or too expensive. Well, you've got two great institutions right here in Pueblo. Pueblo Community College and Colorado State University, Pueblo. Now, community college is open admissions. That means you don't have to take a test to get in. You don't need to have perfect grades to get in. You don't have to go full time, and you can go on the evening or take classes online. The important thing to understand is it is inexpensive. There's financial aid available, and most students receive financial aid. If you qualify for a Pell Grant, it covers 100% of your tuition and fees. And then there's other scholarships and loans available. Most of our community college graduates graduate with no debt. It means they don't owe any money when they get out. The key is to going to a community college and finding a major that you are interested in and then completing, not taking a few courses and dropping out. If you complete, you will have options. If you don't, you'll have fewer. You might do okay, but we know that our community college graduates often earn more money than people who graduate from a four-year university because they get skills like nursing or welding or auto mechanics that immediately pay a good living wage and may be of more interest to you. So don't think about college as being only a four-year university. College can mean, again, a technical certificate from a community college, an associate's degree from a community college, or a bachelor's degree from a university and beyond. The important thing to understand is that you have options. You can decide to go immediately after high school. You can decide to go full-time or part-time. You can decide to go to a community college or a university. But you need to go, and you need to complete a credential, and then you'll have the opportunity to provide for yourself and provide for your family.
Wow, this concurrent enrollment thing really needs me to look into it.
Navy scholarships, Pell Grants, merit, and need scholarships.
I heard even some businesses offer tuition reimbursement, which does make it affordable.
I heard Charmin toilet paper has thousands of dollars in scholarships, and not enough people apply. New path plan.
Decisions, decisions, decisions.
What are you doing?
Thinking of all the decisions I better not make to keep away from this next speaker.
My name is Joe Koncilja. I'm a criminal defense attorney who has practiced law in Pueblo for my entire professional career, over 4 decades. I was born and raised in Pueblo. I attended kindergarten at Lakeview Elementary, grade school at St. Francis Xavier, middle school at Corwin, high school at Central, college at the University of Southern Colorado, now CSU Pueblo, and law school at the University of Denver. I was asked to address you today, not because I am important, but hopefully to say something to you that is important. I have seen how lives are changed in a moment of rage, of greed, of narcissism, of jealousy, and sometimes in a moment of despair. From minor things like shoplifting, drunk driving, simple assaults, to serious matters like rape and murder, I have seen how brief lapses of judgment and momentary irrational behavior can change lives forever. Not only the lives of the perpetrators, but the lives of the victims and families on both sides of the equation. Through my career, I have been witness to the importance of not acting on impulse and a short-sighted thought process which places in-the-moment decisions over potential life consequences. I have seen how impaired judgment by alcohol and drugs turns normal, rational people to do totally out-of-character acts and then suffer serious consequences for the feeling of euphoria of substance-induced impairment. I have watched how talented people who could have otherwise been tremendously successful succumbed to the illusion of immediate success and wealth by dealing drugs, only to be ravaged by the use of their own poison and to pay me the perceived profits of their likely illegal endeavor. And I have never in 45 years observed a single successful dealer of drugs enjoy prosperity to a ripe old age. Their future is invariably prison, addiction, or premature death. And yet, despite my observations, I have never lost sight of the importance of my calling and the hope and optimism which I have witnessed, and the belief that everyone is capable of change and redemption. And I have seen in my own life how not being judgmental and how trying to understand and explain the human condition has been my greatest ability and my most important asset. I have used my experiences from this humble community to help me explain how lives go awry and how tragic decisions are made, because I am acutely aware of life's frailties and the weaknesses which we all suffer. So my message to you is twofold. In your own life, strive to do the right thing. Don't believe that there is a shortcut to success. Hard work, not luck, is your pathway to a better life. And always compassionately understand the plight of others. Embrace the idea that there but for the grace of God go I, and take the humanity which you have witnessed in this great community and make it the center post of your identity. 10 years ago, I received one of the greatest honors of my career to give the commencement address for the graduating class at CSU Pueblo. I said then what I say to you now: let us all enjoy our humble common beginnings, because it is common people like you and I who hopefully will do uncommon things in pursuit of the common good. Good luck and God bless.
Joe Koncilja is a famous attorney with a great message and a great suit.
I know. Too bad I really don't ever want to meet him. Unless, of course, I join his law firm. If it is to be, it is up to me. Best 10 two-letter words ever.
We're wishing you all make the right choices for you that motivate and inspire.
And as another one of America's heroes said,
life's experience have taught him that you don't lose until you quit trying.
Until next time, know what path you are on your journey to success.